Good morning. So today we're going to be doing an easy morning flow class, and we're going to be focused on low back issues, which I just heard today about 80% of human beings have low back issues. And it can be from just our lifestyle. It can be just getting older. In any case, almost everyone is going to feel some low back pain at some point. So we're going to need some props today. A blanket. It's a good size blanket here. And I'm going to show you two ways to fold it. So you can see how wide this is. And then if you fold it in half again, this is something you can sit on when we're in our easy pose, when we're sitting cross-legged. So this is one way to fold your blanket. And you may need to modify your own blanket. And then at the end, when we're relaxing, we're going to roll it up. So you could use another yoga mat. We're going to roll it up like this. And we're going to put it under our low backs. And of course, if that is not comfortable, then just move the blanket out of the way. Don't worry with it. Sometimes that helps. At the very end, after you've warmed up, after you've done your exercise, to just lay with that nice arch in your back. Okay, so there's that. We will also use a block at some point, yoga block. This is a cork block. You don't have to have cork. You can get the plastic ones, the whatever material they're made of. And then, sorry, my props are everywhere. A yoga strap. You could also use a belt. And I like to fold mine in half. And these are just helpful. You don't have to use these, but they are very helpful, especially if you're having low back issues. And then you'll notice that I have a chair here put on the side. So we may or may not use the chair. It's if you feel like you need a little more support, then go ahead and have a chair somewhere at the top of your mat, somewhere near the top of your mat, and that will help with stability. I think that's all I need to say. And in a few minutes, we will get started laying down on our backs. So go ahead and gather your props and then come back when you're ready. Okay. So have your strap nearby for our warm up so that you can reach out and grab it when you need it. And we'll start on our backs with our knees up, arms out in a T position, and just lift and lower your back so you feel comfortable. And you can just focus on your breath for 4 or 5 breaths. Just notice how your low back in particular feels while laying on the floor. And hopefully it feels good to have all this support underneath your back. If it doesn't feel good, then you may want to reposition your back. Sometimes tucking your pelvis in, tucking your tailbone up, and just repositioning your low back will help. So just notice. And even your upper back, sometimes your upper back can get a little cramped or kind of congested. So make sure you spread your shoulder blades and place yourself purposefully on those big bones. And sometimes this is all it takes to relieve any low back pain. Just laying on the floor with awareness. And now we're going to start to move gently with some windshield wipers. So just let your legs start to move side to side. And you can keep your arms out in this T position if you like, or move them down by your hips, or lay your hands underneath your ribs. Whatever feels good. Just start to move slowly side to side. And noticing how your hip muscles, your hip joints attach to your low back. While this movement radiates from the upper parts of the sides of your legs all the way up into your back. And let's go one more time to each side. And then gradually bring yourself back to neutral. And you will want to reposition your back again. So lift and lower, placing your low back on the floor. And then just bring your right knee up towards your chest. This is where you could use your strap, if you like. Wrapping your strap around the back of your right leg. And even if you can reach your knee comfortably, sometimes this strap is kind of nice because you're not straining to hold on to your leg. And just take a few breaths here. And then release your right foot back to the floor. And we'll do the same thing on the left side. So wrapping your strap around the back of your left thigh or holding on to your knee. Either way is fine. Breathe into it. Just taking this next hour or so to slow down the pace of your life. Really be in your body with your breath. And then go ahead and release your left foot down. Take a breath or two. And now we're going to bring both knees up towards our chest. So again, you can use your strap or your hands, holding onto the fronts of your knees or the backs of your thighs. And you don't want to pull in too far. You just want to kind of feel that range of motion there. Where is it comfortable? And just stay right there. So if you're using the strap, you don't need to do anything different. If you're using your hands, you want to slide your hands around behind your thighs and lift your legs straight up into the air. Make some circles with your feet. So we won't be focused on our low backs the whole time. But as you know, everything is connected. Your body is a connection of nerves and muscles and joints and fluids. It's kind of a miracle, really. So as we move our feet, we're warming up our ankles, we're warming up our calves, even our knees. So just notice that. And then reverse those circles. And then come back to neutral and point and flex your feet. And point your toes up towards the ceiling and hold. Right, and then flex your feet and hold. Feel your calves stretch out. Maybe you feel this in the backs of your knees. And then slowly lower your feet back down to the floor in a comfortable position. And let your hands rest underneath your ribs. Take a couple breaths. Now we're changing the focus up to our shoulders. So keep your knees bent, bring your arms out in a T position, and then start to slide your arms up. And you'll know when to stop. You'll start to feel a stretch in your underarms, the insides of your arms, start to feel your shoulders, and just pause there. You're in a wide V position now. Breathe into it. We're starting off very slowly and gently. Work up to a little bit of work, not too much. Easy morning flow. Best way to start your day. And now if it's comfortable for you, slide your arms up a little higher and just keep on going again until you feel resistance. And then stay there. And you'll notice your back is wanting to arch. Go ahead and lift your low back again and place it back down, creating an arch. So your ribs start to reach up, start to open up. Breathe into it. If this hurts you, if it's painful, please just release your arms and then release your back. Yoga is all about awareness, primarily awareness of our bodies. But then that can be integrated into your life. The more aware you become of yourself, the more aware you are of other people. And now one more time, if it's comfortable, see if you can stretch your arms higher up overhead. One more breath. And then bring your palms together overhead. And as you inhale, lift your arms up, palms are together. And then exhale, hands come down underneath your ribs again. And then flatten your back. So lift and lower your lower back. Take a few breaths. We're going to do one more pose here on our backs, and this is a modified figure 4. So cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Take your right hand and very gently press your right leg away. So you're going to feel your inner thigh open up. You may feel some compression in the outside of your right hip. And just again, find that place that feels good, like you're making space. Making space in your inner thigh, allowing synovial fluid in your joints, lymphatic fluid, blood, all those fluids, just making some space. Create more of a flow inside your body. One more breath. And then release your right leg down and switch sides. Left ankle over your right thigh. Very gently press your left leg away. Breathe into it. One more breath. And then release. And we're going to come up into a sitting position next. So roll to one side. This is helpful for your back to roll to one side. Use this top arm to lift yourself up. And so if it's uncomfortable for you to sit like this, that's where your blanket's going to come in. And I'm going to demonstrate that, but I will probably move it because it's not necessary for me. I don't need it. This is how you want to sit on your blanket. You want to scoot forward so your knees come down below your hips. Okay, so just play with that and see if you can get to where your knees are below your hips. All right. And then once we're settled, take a few breaths, relax your shoulders, relax your face. Then we're going to work down our spines. We're going to start with the neck, move down into your upper back, middle back, and low back. So starting with head circles, slowly and mindfully, it doesn't matter which direction. Close your eyes if you like. And if you hear your neck kind of cracking and popping, which a lot of us do, just know that what you're doing here is beneficial. Keeping the energy moving. All that cracking and popping it's usually just trapped air. And so you're moving that air out. One more time in this direction. And then reverse when you're ready. You're doing about 8 of these. Sometimes I count, sometimes I don't count. So if that bothers you, please just do what you need to do. Count your repetitions or not. Good. One more time. And then just let your head hang down. And when your head hangs down, notice if your shoulders want to come up. And purposely push your shoulders down away from your ears. And just let gravity do the work. So the upper part of your spine is lengthening, it's stretching, it's opening up. And because of our lifestyles, we don't want to stay like this too long. We do want to stretch our muscles this way, but we don't want to stay here too long. So now let's do the opposite pose. Inhale, lift your head up. Exhale and tip your head back. Opening up your throat and all these long muscles here along your throat. Shoulders down away from your ear. And I just realized we did not do our head circles in the other direction. So let's come back to neutral and then reverse those head circles. And take a few breaths as you reverse your circles, inhaling as you come up and exhaling as you come down. You may naturally do that anyway. One more time. One more time, let your head drop down. Relax your shoulders. Purposely push your shoulders down away from your ears. And then on your next inhale, lift your head. And exhale, tip your head back. And one more time, feel the opening around your throat. And then on your next inhale, bring your head back to neutral and relax your neck. All right. So now let's warm up our shoulders, chest, and upper backs just a little. Arms come out to the sides. Inhale up, exhale down to your heart. And then inhale, press forward and hold right there. Sometimes I let my thumbs touch. Sometimes I create a little triangle here. That's fine if you want to do that. Or you can just bring your arms apart, your hands apart. Just reach out and start to stretch your shoulder blades apart. Belly is pulled in lightly. And now bring your palms together, bend your elbows, bring your hands back to your heart, and relax your shoulders. And now keeping your palms together, press up. Keep your palms together as you reach up, look up, and if that's not comfortable for your neck, keep your head in neutral. So you feel a length between your fingertips and your shoulders. All right, on your next exhale, turn your palms away from each other. Bring your arms down by your sides and then around behind your back, and let your fingertips touch the floor behind your back. So you've already opened up your chest. And just stay right there. All right, one more time. Turn your palms so they face up. This time your thumbs are facing behind you. You can feel a little deeper stretch in your arms, your back, your chest. And then inhale up overhead and exhale down to your heart. And relax. When we're sitting in this cross-legged position, if your legs get tired of being crossed this way, you can always put the other leg in front or straighten your legs out. Rub your legs if you need to. We're going to do a side stretch and a spinal twist next. So with your right hand on the floor, this is a good place for a block if you want to try using the block. You bring your right hand onto the block and lift your left arm up and lean to the right. That's it. That's the side stretch. And sometimes what happens if we're not paying attention is we're just so intent on stretching out our sides, we end up coming way over and lifting up off of our sitting bones. So we don't want to do that. Pressing into your sitting bones as you lengthen your left side. And then take a few breaths. One more breath. And then as you inhale, release your left arm down and your right arm up. As you exhale, lean to the left. Feel your right side lengthening, getting longer. Feel the space between your ribs and your pelvis, between your shoulder and your pelvis. It's a lot of space. And then on your next inhale, release your right arm down. And we're going to pause here and roll our shoulders. I think we'll do a little different version of our spinal twist today. Sometimes we do our spinal twist with our legs crossed, so you can stay there if you like, or you can straighten your legs out, your legs a little stretch. And then bend your right knee, pull it up towards your chest. Make sure you feel stable. Left hand to the outside of your right knee, holding on to your right leg, bringing your right hand behind you, using your block if you like, and twisting to the right. So you're twisting from the waist. One more breath. And then slowly unwind yourself, coming back to center, straightening out your right leg. If you're using the block, go ahead and move it to your left side, bending your left knee, right hand holds onto your left leg, and then you twist to the left. You're twisting from the waist. One more breath. And then slowly come back to center. Roll your shoulders again. I'm going to do one more stretch here. This is probably the most difficult forward fold that we do is from the sitting position. So it's a good time to use a strap, even if you don't need it. You want to sit up tall, wrap the strap around the bottoms of your feet. That there is a stretch, right? Just reaching down towards your feet. And then start in staff pose. Gently pulling back on your strap, sitting up tall, rolling your shoulder blades down your back and holding your belly in. That might be enough. Maybe you already feel that in your low back. Just holding your belly in supports your low back. You don't have to do 100 sit-ups. Who wants to do that? We just need to remember our core muscles. We just need to remember to hold our bellies in and keep our posture as strong as we can. And now, if you're ready, when you're ready, we're going to come into a forward fold slowly and mindfully. Bring your strap together so you created a V shape. And then bring your free hand forward, lean forward slightly. And maybe this is it. Maybe this is as far as you want to go today, and that is just fine. If you like, bring the other hand forward, lean forward just a little more. And you can see it's not a big movement. I'm already feeling this in my low back. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is as far as you need to go today. And if you like, I'm not going to move any farther, but if you like, bring the other hand forward, lean down a little more. So the idea is bringing your pelvis closer to your thighs, your belly closer to your thighs, while maintaining a nice strong spine. So we don't want to round our backs. That takes away from this pose. One more breath. And then slowly come back to neutral, lifting yourself up, releasing the strap off to the side. And if you like, rub your legs, pat your legs. And we're going to come onto our hands and knees next. So we're working up into our work portion of the class. We did quite a bit of warm up. On your hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Start to move your hips side to side. And hopefully this feels really good to your back, your hips, your shoulders. Just move freely side to side. This is called wag your tail. I'm explaining a lot more today. Sometimes I don't talk so much. Next time your hips come to the right side, pause there. Your neck is in neutral, so you're not really compressing your neck or anything. You can move your head side to side freely. And now press your hips to the left and pause. And then inhale as you come back to neutral and pause there. And then we're going to come into a cat pose. So tuck your tailbone, let your back start to round up, and let your head drop down at the very end. And then on your next inhale, start to lift your tailbone up. And as you do, your belly will drop down. You'll feel an arch in your back. And at the very end, press your shoulder blades down your back and lift your head just enough so you're looking straight ahead, but don't look way up. Don't hyperextend the back of your neck. So you want to really feel this in your middle back. And now we're going to flow in and out of those two poses with our breath. So as you inhale, start to tuck your tailbone, rounding your back, and then exhale into cat pose. And then inhale, lift your tailbone, drop your belly, exhale into cow pose. Belly, chest is forward, head is up. Inhale, move back towards cat pose. Exhale when you get there. Inhale, tailbone up. Exhale, cow pose. Let's do that 3 more times. After your next cow pose, bring yourself back to neutral, and then press back into either child's pose or hero pose, sitting on your heels. And then once you get into that resting position, rotate your wrists. Okay. Now we're going to move into some bigger poses next. So come up onto your hands and knees again. Make sure you're at the top of your mat with your hands. We're going to be moving into plank pose in just a minute. So this is where our work portion starts. First, step your right foot back, curl your toes, and press into your heel for a nice calf stretch. And then release. Step your left foot back, pressing into your heel. Lengthening your leg. And then come back to all fours. Reposition yourself if you feel the need to. We're just going to start with a short dog. So for short dog, we don't need to do a plank. We just curl our toes, press into our feet as we lift our knees, press up and back. One more breath. And then come back down onto your knees. Take a brief little break here in either hero pose or child's pose. Rotate your wrists if you like. Just 2 or 3 breaths. And then we're coming back to our hands and knees and getting ready for plank. Once you're on your hands and knees, stretch one leg back and the other leg back. And pause here in plank pose. You might feel your body start to shake. You're using your core muscles. You're strengthening your back, strengthening your shoulders. And then from here, we press back into downward facing dog. So in down dog, we're pressing our chest towards our thighs. Your neck again is in neutral, no pressure on your neck. One more breath. And then move back towards plank. Drop your knees. Relax your feet. Keep your elbows in as you slowly lower down. And then inhale, just lift your head and chest. You'll feel your back start to engage. If it starts to feel like your low back is pinching, come back down a little bit. And remember, there's no pressure on your hands. Your back is doing the work here. And then we're going to rest by crossing our arms, letting our heads come down. Relax your whole body. One more breath. And now we're going to come back up onto our hands and knees. Take your time getting there. And we'll do that same sequence just one more time. We're moving slowly and mindfully today. Some days we do this sequence kind of fast with our breath. Today we're really focusing on sensations, what's happening in your body while you're doing this. So once you're in your all fours position, stretch one leg back, then the other, and pause in plank pose. And then when you're ready, press back into downward facing dog. One more breath. And then as we inhale, we flow through plank pose. We don't hold it. We drop our knees down. Relax your feet. Elbows in. This is using your core strength and your arm strength. Slowly lowering down. And then just inhale as you lift your head and chest. And then release any tension on your hands or your arms. So let your back do some work here. And then one more time. Cross your arms, let your head come down and relax. Make sure to relax every part of your body. Feet, legs, bottom, back, chest, arms, neck, face, everything. Let it all go. All right. Take another breath or two. And we're going to make our way back up onto hands and knees. And from there, we're going to come up to standing. So take your time getting onto your hands and knees first. And then stand up on your knees. Now, if you have a chair nearby, you can walk towards your chair. Use that chair to help you stand up. Bending one leg, bringing it forward, using that strong thigh to help yourself up. And then make your way into the center of your mat. I'm going to move my screen. And we're going to come into a wide stance. turning sideways on your mat. This might take a minute for me to adjust. We'll see. Nope. Perfect. Okay. So that was a little bit of work. Now let's do something kind of soothing and easy. Taking a wide stance with your hands on your hips. Make some circles with your hips. And this is one movement here that you can do any time of day. You don't even have to call it yoga. I don't even know if it's in the yoga books, but it sure feels good on your low back. Nice, easy circles. Feel your hips. Feel your knees. It doesn't matter which direction you start in, as long as you go in both directions. So when you're ready, go the other way. We're doing about 8 of these. Like I said, I don't count. My body tends to know when I'm around 8. That's kind of the limit, unless we're going to hold poses longer. So, 8, 9, 10. But if you like counting, you probably know we're past 8 by now. So go ahead and come back to neutral and pause. Relax your arms. Let's just pause here. Let yourself sigh a few times, just really releasing any kind of tension or even frustration. Sometimes we get frustrated in these yoga practices because we don't know what's coming next. Let it go. Trust the process. And appreciate these few moments of peace and silence. All right, now let's inhale as we raise our arms up overhead. Exhale down to your heart. Relax your shoulders. And then let's step back to mountain pose. Take a minute, rotate your wrists, move your feet, move your shoulders. Just loosen up a little bit. And we're going to do a chair flow today, which strengthens your legs, but it also strengthens your core. So sometimes we do the chair flow, sometimes we do the warrior 1 or the warrior 2 flow, and those are fine. Those are good for every part of your body, but they do tend to stress your low back just a little more. Chair flow, you're going to feel it mostly in your legs. But if you hold your belly in, you'll also feel it in your core, and you'll be strengthening your back. So come on into mountain pose, and you'll notice I'm facing the short edge of my mat. You don't have to do that unless you want to. Mountain pose, nice strong standing position. Belly is already pulled in. We're going to do this 3 times. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale, lean back slightly and lift your chest. And that's a small movement, but it has a big effect. And hold each pose for about 5 breaths. We're going to come into airplane pose next. So inhale as you lift up to neutral. Hold your belly in as you hinge at the hips. Come down halfway. Chest is parallel to the floor. Arms reach out like an airplane. Knees are soft. Belly is tight. And now forward fold is next. So let's just do this time with our hands on our thighs. Bringing your belly closer to your thighs and pause there. So now you really are stretching out your low back. You can feel your vertebrae moving away from each other. little harder to hold your belly in here, but see if you can do it. See if you can at least bring your attention to your core. Because as we come up, we're going to engage those core muscles again. Bend your knees with your hands on your thighs, belly pulled in, lift up. And then when you feel stable, bring your arms out in front of you into chair pose. Breathe into it. Try to hold your belly in. And then on your next inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, palms together, down to your heart. Keep holding your belly in. We're not resting yet. And then relax. Shake your arms and legs. And so now we're going to find the block, because when we come to forward fold, we may want to use that block. And there's 4 sides, or there's, I don't know how many sides, I haven't counted, but there's 4 ways you can stack this: high, medium, or low. So maybe start high, and then once you get down there, you'll change it if you like. So right in front of you, we're going to do that chair flow 2 more times. When you're ready, inhale, reach up, exhale, lean back and lift your chest. So leaning back puts pressure on your low back. So purposely press your chest up. Upper back presses into your chest. That takes the pressure off of your low back. And take a few breaths. One more breath. And then belly pulled in as you inhale, lift up. Exhale, airplane pose. Belly tight. Knees soft. And on your next exhale, forward fold. And you can just have your hands on your thighs if you like. If you want to try using that block, go ahead and play with the block and see where you want to be. The idea is to let your upper body totally relax down. One more breath. We're coming up into chair pose. We want to bend our knees. And you can bring your hands to your thighs. That provides a little more stability for your back as you come up. And then once you feel balanced again, bring your arms out in front of you into chair pose. And you're still holding your belly in. You feel this in your legs, mostly your thighs, maybe your knees. If it starts to hurt your knees, stand up a little more. Don't come down so far. I'm telling you though, core muscles, if you're engaging your core muscles, you're supporting your whole body. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, palms together, down to your heart, and relax. One more time. I'm not going to talk so much this time, so you make your way through this sequence. Inhale up, exhale back. See if your body remembers what to do. And then again, inhale back up to neutral. Exhale into airplane pose. On your next exhale, forward fold. One more breath. Then bend your knees, engage your core muscles, lift your chest up, and find your chair pose one more time. And then inhale back up, exhale, palms together, down to your heart. Relax your shoulders. And take a few breaths here in mountain pose. All right, so when you're ready, release your arms, wrist circles, move your legs, move your shoulders, just move around a little bit. Maybe swing your arms a couple times, just loosening up. Let go of the concentration for the moment. Just let your body move the way it wants to move. And we're going to come right down onto the mat, onto our backs again. So we'll do a few long holds, long held poses, and then we'll move right into final relaxation. So go ahead and come down on your back with your knees up. Make sure you have your blanket nearby if you plan to use it. And actually, if you're going to use your blanket, this is where you want to roll it up. That's an option. It's not necessary. And I didn't do mine very well, so I have to do it again. But go ahead and come onto your back and do some more windshield wipers. Letting your legs move side to side, like we did in the beginning. You could also use a yoga mat for this last option here. So if you've been doing your windshield wipers already, go ahead and pause on either side. It doesn't matter which. Just let yourself pause there for 3 to 5 breaths. And then remember to do the same thing on the other side. 3 to 5 breaths. And then come on back up to neutral. Reposition your back. So you will need to lift and lower your low back. You're going to do one bridge pose. So this is another strengthening pose for your legs. But it tends to release pressure from your low back. So walk your heels up toward your bottom. Your arms can be out in a T position or down by your hips. Either way is fine. Press into your feet as you slowly peel your spine off the floor. And just find a comfortable bridge pose. We're not putting a lot of effort into this. Our thighs are working. Our feet are working. Your whole torso is relaxed. You start to feel this in your neck and it's uncomfortable. That means you've come up too high. So just relax. Find a nice, comfortable place. And then when you're ready, slowly lower back down. Bring both knees up towards your chest and rock side to side. I'm going to talk us through one more long pose, figure 4 pose. And then the rest I will leave up to you. I'll do a couple of demonstrations. I'll show you a couple of cool down poses, but if you've done this before, you know what you like. And we are going to need our strap. I'm sorry, I didn't say that before now. See if you can get your strap for figure 4 pose. Okay. Once you have your strap, make sure your low back is comfortable. And then wrap your strap around the back of your right thigh. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. And then pull your legs up towards your chest. And I say pull, it's not a big movement. You're barely holding on to this strap. You're just maintaining this position. And of course, you don't have to use the strap unless it works for you. You can hold on behind your right thigh. You can reach through the hole that you created with both hands. So make it yours. And you'll notice we've relaxed our core muscles. Now we're focused on our hips. We have a lot of small, teeny tiny little muscles that run from our low backs down into our hips, into our bottoms, and down our legs. And that's what we're stretching right now. I could give you names, but it's not necessary to know the names. You can feel it. Let's take a couple more breaths. When you're ready, slowly release your right foot down, left foot down. If you're using the strap, move it over to your left, back of your left thigh, and then repeat figure 4. Crossing your right ankle over your left thigh, bringing both legs up. Let's take a couple more breaths here. You're ready. Release your left foot, right foot. Move the strap off to the side. Reposition your low back again. And then here are my suggestions for your cool down poses. Knees to chest always feels good. It's good for your low back. You can rock side to side or not. And you can do this in your bed in the morning when you wake up. It does feel good. You can also do alternate knee to chest, keeping one knee in, stretching the other leg out. Make sure you do both sides. You can do a happy baby pose, again, using the strap if you like. You're just holding on. You can hold on behind your knees or reach up and grab your feet. Sometimes this is called dead bug pose. I like the happy baby name better. And then a butterfly pose might feel good as well. So bringing the soles of your feet together. Allowing your knees to fall out to the sides. And again, reposition your back if you need to. And then the last suggestion. So if you're in butterfly pose, the way to come out of the butterfly pose is to bring your hands underneath your legs so that you're not straining your inner thighs. If you want to bring your blanket underneath your low back, you can do that for your final relaxation. You can also use your block underneath your low back. So you have to time this so that you leave yourself at least 1 or 2 minutes at the very end to just let go. Just stop all the movements, stop all the poses, and just breathe. You decide when you're ready for that. Give yourself permission to just relax. And if you're doing this with a recording, with a recorded video, you can just stay here as long as you like. You could stop your video, you could pause it. But if you're ready to bring yourself back, just start to move gently, fingers, toes. Maybe move your hips again. Maybe move your head. And then gradually roll to one side and help yourself up into a sitting position. Just take a minute once you come up. Just notice how you feel. Hopefully you feel energized and relaxed at the same time. And that truly is the magic of yoga. Go ahead and rub your hands together. Maybe saying a silent thank you to yourself. And open your hands out to the sides. Inhale up overhead. Exhale down to your heart with love and gratitude. Namaste.